Good morning. It's always a delight to come in and greet each other, isn't it? Well, welcome to First Parish Brewster, the place that cultivates liberating love by living with mindful intention, practicing kindness, and serving needs greater than our own. Or, to put it simply, here we strive to be mindful, be kind, and be of service. If you are a visitor, we are so grateful you are here today. We'd love you to join us for coffee hour, such as it is, following the service so we can greet you more appropriately. Please also don't hesitate to fill out the welcome card in the pew so we can give you more information about this special community and all the fabulous things we do here. There are announcements on the back of your order of service. Don't miss them. And finally, I invite you to take out your cell phones and turn them off. And I have to check if I did. Please take a deep breath in with me now. And let us be present in worship with one another for the next hour.
Cartwheels turn to car wheels return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. Years spin by and now the child is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
We light our chalice this morning as a reminder of the changes time brings to us and to honor them. And let's see, I'm going to ask. To light the chalice. Thank you. Will you join me? You needn't stand unless you need to. In the unison affirmation. We believe in love.
Love is the doctrine of this church.
We believe in truth.
The quest for truth is a sacrament.
We believe in helping others.
And service is our prayer.
We believe in the sacredness of life.
To the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine.
And now you may rise and join in the gray hymnal. Is it the gray hymnal?
It's
or
in the teal hymnal this
teal
morning.
hymnal?
1024. When the Spirit says do. And we'll follow these verses that are at the bottom of the page. And the last time we can just come back to do.
So, are there additional children here who would like to come up? Or children at heart? Oh, thank goodness for Alma. Hi, sweetie. Hi, baby. It's for you. And so, what is it? Is it a clock? What does the clock do? Right, it says the time. And what does the time do? What happens when time ticks?
We have a schedule and it says the time that we do something that we have to know what time.
That's a great thing, something that some of us are better at than others. Is it a clock? Is it a clock? Tick, tock, tick, tock. So when time passes, can you tell me what that means? Finn got it.
We get older.
Get older, right. And are you getting older? Are you getting older? Yes. Did everybody get older? Everybody does get older. Tell me something great, Alma, about getting older. Anything. Anything you love about getting to be an older girl. You get more independent. Yeah. Tell me something not so great.
I have a lot of homework.
Not so great. Not so great. Can we stop the clock? No, we can't stop the clock. So I'm suggesting what we do is pay attention to the clock that ticks and have fun as much as we can every time that clock ticks, every time an hour or a day or a week and a birthday comes around, we just always know that we're getting older and we're getting
Better.
better. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me and filling in that space.
10.
And it's 10:10. Children, may you now in Today's offering is a split plate with the Association to Preserve Cape Cod, APCC, more important now than ever before, whose mission is to preserve, protect, and to enhance the natural resources of Cape Cod. Their vision is a carbon-neutral Cape Cod where waters are restored and protected, natural landscapes and wildlife habitat are preserved, and where growth respects the character of town centers and rural lands. This organization was nominated by the FBBUU Biodiversity Task Force. Please give generously to this organization, as well as to First Parish UU. You may write a check, or you may do it on
Text.
your message.
Yeah.
On the phone. Yes, the morning's offering will now begin.
There's a certain kind of beauty that can't be found among the young when you're settled and you're safe in your own skin. You might not see it in the movies, but you know it's real because every wrinkle tells a story of the places you have been. Countless ocean hours forming freckles on your face, wildflowers that will only bloom with age, learning how to love who you are along the way. You're growing older and more beautiful each day. If you feel a little tired, it's because you've come so far, and your eyes reflect the grace you have received. Oh, you've made it through the fire, it's what made you who you are. Now it shines like strands of silver, and it feels like being free. Countless ocean hours forming freckles on your face, wildflowers that will only bloom with age, learning how to love who you are along the way. You're growing older and more beautiful each day. Every person has a history, like a priceless work of art, a patina that will never fade away. You are made of love and memories, softer body, stronger heart. All the memories you've collected are what brought you here today, and you would never ever trade those ocean hours forming freckles on your face, wildflowers that will only bloom with age, learning how to love who you are along the way. You're growing older and more beautiful each day. You're growing older and more beautiful each day. And more beautiful. You're growing older and more beautiful. You're growing older and more beautiful. You're growing older and more beautiful.
I forgot to say I'm joined by Kaisa. Thank you. And Pam. So now is the time for us to settle into a meditation. I invite you to close your eyes or to cast your eyes downward, to place your feet on the floor, to breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in and breathe out. This meditation will be followed by a brief silence broken by a chime. This is a prayer for the second half of life. Spirit of life, we hold in our hearts all who are in the second half of life, those who aspire to move from aging to saging. We breathe with those whose hearts have been broken open, that we may continue to grow in love. We breathe with all who have been disappointed, that we may continue to dream. We breathe with all who no longer find delight in the activities of our youth, that we may find new delights. We breathe with those who live with daily pain, that we may find comfort and strength to greet each new day. We breathe with those experiencing new limits in the body, grieving the loss of what we once could do, held by the body's possibilities still with us. We breathe with those whose fire is running low. May we open to the spark of inspiration and new life. May our journeys of aging and awakening together be a blessing. And I do see that I had written in the order of service a responsive reading, so now I have to find it because it's not in there. And I know where it is. It's in the gray hymnal. I think they went with the old typical order of service, and I changed it. Could be. Oh, it was so beautiful. May I say it was an absolutely beautiful, responsive reading. Sometimes I think we get too stuck in what is exactly supposed to happen in an order of service, and so they just print it the way it is and not the way it might be. Meet me at the corner of age and spirit. Raise your hand if you're aging. Well, some people didn't raise their hand. Is it a good thing? Or is it a bad thing? Is there a goal to this thing we call getting older? And I ask you, is it really like a fine wine that improves with age? Or is it simply making our bumbling way towards our inevitable death? And then let me ask you whether our faith plays a role in how we think about these existential questions. Lately, I've been working that particular garden of thought, my hands in the gritty dirt of existence, my mind on the circling merry-go-round of possibility and intentionality. I've been feeling myself inside this great big bubble of awe and pain. That seems more accessible at a certain age, say my age. I tend to refer to myself as an evangelical Unitarian Universalist. I breathe this UU faith, this UU religion. I inhale the way it exhorts us to be our best human selves. And while most of us will never reach the pinnacle of compassion and greatness, the effort to do so, to follow the dictates of our faith, is in itself ennobling. There have been ministers who have deeply disappointed. There have been congregational individuals that have, on occasion, set my nerves on edge. What can I say? I'm human. There have been decisions that have fallen short of our collective aspirations. But at our best, this faith gives us a vessel with which to measure all of life's experiences, both the tragic and the luminous. Our conscious desire to build meaningful relationships, our inevitable periods of grief, our joy, our commitment to justice making, our role in standing up to the tyranny of today's political climate, our brilliant children and youth curricula, which teaches that all love is sacred love, our thoughtful consideration of fundamental principles of good and evil, of how we can be a service to the least among us. These things can, and for me often, are drawn from our own process of discernment within the Unitarian Universalist Association, and here within our own vital, creative community. Over the past few months, I've been conscientiously considering events both in the world and in my own life to fashion a kind of you tugboat that nudges and steers my thoughts and worries and joys and sorrows in a more relaxed, less reactive way. Is it a process that was simply not available when I was a young woman, just finding my spiritual home base? What is it that has changed? Is it that I'm older? Or is it my 37-year connection to vibrant Unitarian Universalist congregations? I'm coming to see that both age and spiritual connection together weave a fabric that holds us in these painful times, much like a hammock welcomes our bodies to conform to its comfort. So this faith welcomes our souls, however you define that for yourself. What we do matters more than what we say. And wouldn't you agree that we work hard on that concept of doing? Of offering ourselves in big and little ways to raise more boats than just our own. We may argue ad nauseum about theism, humanism, one God, many gods, no gods, nature gods, and the like. But what connects us is the effort we put into building a better world, one project at a time. Like many of you, the religion I was born into was either irrelevant, dishonest, or divisive, or maybe all three. I could not relate to messages of being better than, nor could I relate to messages about piety unrelated to compassion, generosity, and human equality. I think my young self craved some kind of understanding beyond my own personal largesse. I was bothered by something I didn't really understand, didn't really know about. I had no words then to formulate my confusion. I remember being about 5 years old and wondering why some people bought a diamond ring in the 5 and dime and others went to a very expensive jewelry store. I couldn't understand why. But I didn't know the questions to ask, and the rabbi at the synagogue I intermittently attended never went there. Can you understand how religion becomes irrelevant for me? Then, coming of age in the late 60s and 70s, I found my way to radical political activity. Everything that hadn't made sense to me as a child became clear. It wasn't just the Vietnam War, it was the entire structure of the American political system. Injustice was inescapable. I had, others had not. And I fought like a resistance warrior in a movement to bring about nonviolent change. Some struggles were successful, like ending the war, but others not so much, like equitable distribution of economic resources, like deliberate policies to maintain that wealth never really becomes available to historically marginalized populations, like school systems in the Bronx that would succeed in lifting their students, that could succeed in lifting their students out of poverty through college admittance with rates similar to those of the schools in the suburbs. My dreams were indeed radical, and I found my life meaningful in the pursuit of justice. But in all my political years, something was missing. I couldn't figure out what that missing component was. For the most part, the left eschewed religious and spiritual practices. I loved the work, but missed the deep companionship and soul connection that religious progressives immersed themselves in. I simply couldn't find that. I wanted what the Berrigan brothers had, what Pax Christi had. When I found Michael Lerner and Tikkun and read his book, The Left Hand of God, his religious imperative spoke to me. Sometime later, I read Gloria Steinem's Revolution from Within, in which she too, later in her political activism, had grown in that feminism to seek a spiritual foundation. I understood then what had been missing in all those youthful years of political activism. And then, when I had children, I found my way to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County in New Jersey. It was there I learned how to fill in the cracks of my political determination with thoughtful deliberation and recognition of something bigger, something, well, more holy. And in the years that followed, I understood that political work doesn't have to be separate from spiritual work. It is spirit that drives us to save the world, that allows us grace. That understanding then became the scaffolding for all subsequent activist work. The UUA introduced me to fine prophetic voices some of you may know. Reverend John Burens, Father Jim Wallace, Reverend William Barber, Father John Deere, Sister Simone from the Nuns on the Bus, Dr. Cornel West. Even Martin Luther King Jr. offered a keynote at GA. Well before my time, it was. I wanted to be like them. That period in my life was a heady and deeply satisfying time. Being a UU began to soften me, not my commitment, but rather my dogma and my stridency. These were people I could both love and build a better world with. It made such a difference to me. I still absolutely believed what I believed, and it could not ever include warmongers and neocons and clanspeople and phony right-wing religious sects. But I learned to listen to other opinions, and I learned to make room for nuance. And I learned that my politics and my love for this big, troubled world existed within a bigger framework. That is, what exactly is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of a life well lived? Those are questions we ponder every Sunday in worship, and in our covenantal groups, and in our work in the world, and even in our relationships within committees and bureaucratic endeavors within our congregation. We learn here to live our values in all aspects of our humanness. Once retired and finally returned to my sanctuary home here on Cape Cod, I began a new and expansive life of growing my spirit and growing my activism. One experience in particular stands out as a singular life lesson. While working with a determined and decent group of progressive activists with whom I had such a political connection, I found an unkindness and a painful and disappointing lack of respect amongst some of the leaders. And I was forced to learn in a deeply hurtful way that good works without good relationship is not the future I wanted to dream. In our faith, we acknowledge when we fall short, and we seek both to be makers of a new world and leaders of human kindness. That's the religion I want to live. And now, suddenly, I'm finding myself shifting again, and it is a big shift. And I've been thinking a great deal about what this shift is trying to tell me in these years of advancing age. Something is new. I feel it. Aging has brought my awareness into a thinning partition between this life and eternity. As I poked through various books and sermons and poems, looking for language to help me understand what exactly is this growth, and is it a process that we all go through to some degree or another, I resonated with the term soul stretching, a process of theological reflection at the intersection of mortality, memory, and meaning. One article likened this discernment process to the rings on a tree trunk, gradually moving outward as we seek spiritual expansiveness. Another author referred to this time as living in the layers. I like that. There is a line in a Rilke poem that reads, quote, "I live my life in widening circles," and I'm feeling that now. In recent months, I have seen the sudden death of my best friend's brother, a young and healthy man, due to a stupid mistake the doctor made. I have sat by the bedside of my 40-year-old son-in-law as he lived precariously on life support for 2 weeks before returning timidly to life. In that same frame of time, I also traveled to Montana and Wyoming to marvel in the majesty of infinite sky, snow-capped mountains, clean running rivers, and abundant wildlife. To observe the miracle of what we have been given in untouched, unspoiled places, I felt myself encased in that bubble, that giant bubble, shimmering and floating and holding me within both truths, end of life and awesome life. And I was part of it all. I wasn't fighting it as I might have done when I was a young woman. I wasn't ignoring it as I might have done when midlife career and children and excessive busyness was what was called for. I was in it, and it was calming, not anxiety producing. I think that kind of leaning in is the result of and the delight of advancing age and all our imminent goodbyes. I'm old now, but so not done. And I know I'm not alone in this. Life seems to spill out in these magnificent stages, each an opportunity to grow a new lens. So many possibilities there in the universe, like a clarion call to spiritual maturity. Our ticking interior clocks are still telling time, and we are together, beautiful, curious children and young, questioning adults and elders, all searching for the meaning of life and for new ways to face what comes to us in our time. And as much as we moan and groan about the challenges of our aging bodies, still we are here. And our forgetful, we are here, and our forgetful minds and our proximity to more losses, even with all of that, still we are here, and awe is all around us, and we have but to remind ourselves to keep reaching out and keep grabbing a hold of it all. Amen, and blessed be.
Let's join together in our closing hymn from the Teal Hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, 1008, 1008. And let's rise in body and spirit.
Raisa, help me out here. Huh? Okay. These chalice extinguishing words by Reverend Barbara Pescan. For endings that are beginnings, for beginnings that are endings, for the circle, the spiral, the web, the egg, the orbit, the center, the seed, the flower, the fruit, the opening, the death, the release, the seed. And perhaps hold hands or elbows or feel the presence of all the wonderful energy here. This, the benediction this morning. Of course, no sermon really is complete without Mary Oliver. To live in this world, you must be able to do 3 things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go, to let it go. Amen. Go in peace.